our Set the Pace, it's a bonus Set the Pace this week. Also, because we won't have one in the next couple of weeks because of some travels. And so we're doing an extra one. I didn't want to wait too long until we had the amazing gift of having Miss Kealakekua Mahi. We call her Auntie, but she's so young to call her Auntie. But we call it out of like so much love. And we are live on a lot of platforms at this moment. We have YouTube going. If you're not on Instagram or Facebook, we also have those going. And we have private groups of our teams that also has access to this live. And if you are listening to the podcast, this turns into a podcast later. If you want to see it live, we sometimes share. And today we're going to share some materials for you to have visuals of what we're talking about. You can jump onto the live and access all that information on here. It is a pleasure, of course, always to have my sisters here with me, Susanna and Teddy, Christina. We're here most Mondays. And the reason why I wanted to do this specific special bonus live is to bring a lot of light to what KMR is. And KMR stands for Kealakekua Mountain Reserve. And it is a passion project, especially for Auntie. And we've been following this since about 6 years ago. For me, was when the first time that I went up to Kealakekua Mountain and planted my sandalwood tree there with my children. And we got to look at it just about a few weeks ago. Susanna and I were there, and all the ideas and the dreams came to fruition where we asked to have an opportunity to camp out there. First was like a camp, right? And then it became a glamp. So, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that experience, which was incredible. And just to see the area that was all nothing when we got there 6 years ago, right? This is back in 2018, 19, I think 18. We were planting the first seeds and it was flat. And when we went there just a few weeks ago, all these trees are huge and you really see what's happening. So I want to thank Auntie for saying yes to this invite. And she is the head of Hikiola, which is a nonprofit, and it is located in Kealakekua on the Big Island of Hawaii. And it is all about educational engagement with the community. And what specifically Hikiola focuses on, which is the project of KMR, is native plants, reforestation, and aloha aina. Right. So welcome, Auntie. Share a little bit about this passion project of yours.
Aloha mai kako. It's so good to be with you all, and I'm just honored to be amongst such wonderful women, and I'm sure there are men tuning in too. So mahalo nui yaoko. Thank you, everyone. Kealakekua Mountain Reserve is just a wonderful, magical place for me. I live at the bottom of that land segment, so by the ocean of that land segment, and I work at the top. And it's just a wonderful blessing to be in the native Hawaiian forest almost daily and bring people there and share the wonderful reforestation efforts that are happening there. For a lot of people, to me, there's several levels. There's the artificial level of, okay, it's Hawaii, awesome, or it's plants, great. But there's a deeper layer of like what Pam was saying, of aloha aina there, and trying to address the generational trauma that has happened through the years with our native Hawaiian people, and not only restoring the forest, but restoring our health as people, as humans, and whoever else wants to participate. I believe that when you plant trees or help restore the aina, it helps you as well. My husband's heading out. Sorry.
My husband and her husband is so awesome, and he looks so healthy. His story is so amazing too. What you have been doing together, it's so inspiring.
It's restoring everyone's health. But that's Kealakekua Mountain Reserve, and Hikiola is like the dōTERRA helping hands to dōTERRA. Hikiola is to KMR, Kealakekua Mountain Reserve. So I'm the sole person, the sole member of the nonprofit that does the educational outreach around the reforestation. So I'm really extra. I feel like I benefit doubly because I get to work with our community and our children, and also with KMR's wellness advocates and everything that you guys do. So that's kind of what we're doing in a nutshell.
That's beautiful. So, just to fill in, some of our friends that watch and sometimes listen to this, they are a little familiar with our company, and doTERRA is my partner, is our partner. We all work together here. I got the opportunity, and it's an honor to be a founder of the Brazil market. And what that means is it's just I'm so committed to what we do, especially in where I'm from, right? My Where I'm from, Brazil, my heart, I feel like my heart is part Hawaiian, though. With all due respect to our Hawaiian natives, I feel like my heart is truly connected to this land. But then at the end of the day, we are all connected regardless of any borders, right? So the co-impact sourcing is something that really was so attractive to me. It really spoke to my heart because um, along with supplying the highest quality, not only essential oils, it is the highest quality essential oils. We are the largest essential oil company in the world. Our company is committed to also making a positive difference in the lives of the people that make it happen. So we say that it's love on both sides of the bottle, right? Which includes Anti and the KMR Project and the harvesters, the distillers, and in this contributes to the local communities. But also, when I was there in KMR and we had the experience to be there for 3 days, the first insight I had was, why couldn't we do this in the Amazon too? So that's why the flyer said, you know what is KMR and what it means to the world, for a few reasons. The first is the Hawaiian sandalwood is an endemic species, right? And he's going to speak a little bit deeper into this. But you couldn't get Hawaiian sandalwood anywhere else but there. And because of the deals that were made back in the 1800s, this went south, and the harvesting was done wrong, and all of the not so positive aspects that came with the over harvesting started to almost make sandalwood extinct, right? So we we're on the verge of. So just having understanding that means that if we didn't do anything about it, we wouldn't have sandalwood in the world anymore. So, what is the impact of that, Nt? When you talk about, hey, it's an endemic species, we wouldn't have it anymore. Kind of like koa too, right? There was the kind of like the same situation.
Yeah. Um, I feel like you know, all over the place there's endemic species, and they're only found there, and it's if it's gone from that place, it's gone forever. And Ilya, he does capture my heart in a sense that, and the one that we plant and the oils that we share are of Santalum paniculatum, which is actually only on Hawaii Island. So gone from Hawaii Island, gone from the world, and and it's I liken it. I mean, koa is in Hawaii. There are lots of species that are only in Hawaii. I liken it to the birds. Our forest birds have really taken a hit, and I always talk about it. You cannot separate our beautiful native birds from reforestation because that's their habitat. And so, once we lose the bird, you can't make another one. You can't just, it's gone forever. And we just had some species marked extinct. I think what, 5 recently, and there's still some on the brink of being lost. And so all of the work that's being done to restore or save or protect any of these kinds of things is very important work, and it's very serious. And the kuleana, the responsibility, is shouldered by many, and that is very helpful when it's not just one person, but a bunch of people, groups, organizations, and the awareness is out there, the education is out there. Like, what did happen with the iliahi in the 1800s? It was over harvested. Um, how can we not repeat that again? How can we be more sustainable in our efforts? How can we be more responsible with what we do in our everyday actions, not only with that, but with everything else that we touch as humans? Like, what are the consequences of me using a certain brand of something? What is the impact that has on another place in the world? Like, I need to know the impact my things have on other places in the world, and not just take care of my forest, but what about other places, so it's just we need to really be aware of these things. I've kind of gone through a lot of I don't know, I'm kind of going in circles. I hope I answered the question.
No, this is beautiful. And in our dining hall, I'm gonna share a small snippet of what we experienced back in Kealakekua. But there is this beautiful wood sign on in the dining hall, which is also a cabin, and it says "Ho'olau Kanaka I Katleo o Na'amanu." And the explanation of that was exactly what you just said about the birds, right? How can you tell us what that really means when you talk about ho'olau kanaka? Kanaka is ancestry, right?
It can be, I mean, I learned Kanaka can be a person, it can be people, it can be people from here. Kanaka can be the Hawaiian people. So it depends on the context. But in this ho'olau Kanaka, you're making many. You're making um, a multitude. Yeah, ho'olau Kanaka, uh, ina leo na manu. Can you repeat the
I
last part?
kaleo
Ika
I
leo
kaleo
o
na
na.
manu.
Oh, that's a beautiful olelo no eo that we chose for our dining area, because we are honoring our birds. Um, every cabin is named after a bird, and then in our dining facility, um, it's a beautiful way for us to honor our manu. Yes, mahalo.
Yeah, so manu is bird in Hawaiian, right? We do have a story, right, Susanna, about the pu'eo, and I even sent 20 as a text message. That was protection, 100%. So, Susanna, share a little bit about, like, we got to the place and then we're given the cabins. It's a super glamping situation, though. You want to do a retreat there.
Okay, guys, I'm not in Big Island right now. I'm not in Hawaii. I'm actually in Oahu, but I put this picture behind me because take me back there. It was amazing. It was awesome. It was magical. I'm really grateful, and I feel very blessed and honored to be able to be there with Auntie and all the crew. Everybody's so wonderful, and it was just magical. I think that's how I put this way. Coming from Brazil and being, I don't think I could be more Hawaiian than that. On the top of the Big Island, on the mountains of the Big Island, we having this experience, listening to the birds and seeing the birds and planting the iliahi, and just very sacred, very beautiful. My heart was full, and being there with Pam and with other amazing people there was awesome. Yes, we are chosen to be in a cabin because they name each cabin as a bird, and we were in the cabin, the Pu'eo cabin. Our airplane, Hawaiian airplane, was called Pu'eo. So we we saw Pu'eo when we were driving all the way up to the mountains. Yes, so if you don't know
We saw
Pu'eo,
one on the way. Remember that?
yeah, we saw one on the way. So, and we didn't know we were gonna be in the Pueo cabin, but here we, I mean, and we got in the cabin. There's this beautiful picture of the Pueo bird, and for those of you who doesn't know, Pueo is translating for owl, right?
Oh, mhm.
So,
Yeah.
in many cultures, it's wisdom and protection and very beautiful. Everything was magical, as I said, and we had the best time. The best glamping. I never been a glamping before, but it was a glamping. The bed was amazing. The room was awesome. The bathroom was great. The food, I cannot even tell about the food, was incredible. And 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 the service, I mean, it was just so much love. We can really feel the love that they put it in every detail, every little detail. We're just like being, embracing love in the Hawaiian way of hosting, and just everything was amazing, very touching. And they took us all the way up to the mountains, and that was wow. And we were driving the, I don't know how we call those little cars that we have there, and the rain coming. We got all the
Totally.
seasons, the full adventure. We got the whole thing. We experienced the whole thing, and it was very awesome. Yes, thank you for this chance and opportunity. I can't wait to take people there, and understanding, and people needs to understand that is a very sacred place, very special place, and I truly believe that the island, in Hawaii, they call us to be here. And if you got the chance to go all the way up there, it's because you were calling to be there and experience that magical forest. And I learned on that trip that iliahi, the oil, the essential oil that we know, the Hawaiian sandalwood, the iliahi that we have on dōTERRA, well, it takes 30 years for the tree to be ready, to give us the gift us with the essential, with the oil, right? To distill it out of that, and it comes from the heart of the tree. Come on, the tree give us their juice from their heart for us. So it's really awesome. Everything's just awesome. I don't know what else can I say. Can I go
No, it's
back?
so powerful. Susanna would tell me this every day. Can we just stay? Can we just stay? But we have kids at home, Susanna, so we gotta go back. We have husbands, But it is an experience that you do not want to go home, because of that connection.
Yeah,
And
when I drive home every day, I get sad because I have to go back down to earth. leave the little piece of heaven we have up there, and I have to go to real world now.
I know it
At
is
some
really
point,
special.
I just want to share this. They brought us this beautiful hula dancer with a band, and the smoke and the fire in between was a luau for us, like a private, pretty much luau for us, with amazing food. Everything was awesome, and she was dancing in the smoke and no lights, right? Only couple lights in there, and she was like, to me it was like, oh, this amazing beautiful hula dancer dancing in the middle of, like, in the forest, like fluctuating in the forest. I'm like, wow, what am I experiencing over here? It was incredible, incredible, incredible. Yes.
That is amazing. So, just to go back a little bit on the Pu'eo story. So here, what a beautiful way to. We just made the connection of the manu, the birds, right? And I heard this when I was in one of my courses in India, and one of the teachers said, whenever you hear a bird, it's ingrained in your DNA to know that it's safe, there's life. So, and that comfort, I never heard anybody saying, "Oh, I don't like when the birds sing." So it's just that it's in our DNA, that connection. And Hawaiian Airlines too, they name their aircraft. So some of them are named after constellations, and some are named after the birds. And I thought that that was such a beautiful way for 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 them to honor, the importance of these birds to any place, especially to Hawaii. So ours was pueo, and then of course I went and did a little research to understand what pueo is in Hawaiian, right? Well, we know that it's an owl, and you know that in a lot of cultures it's connected to wisdom, but one thing that really struck me was we saw a pueo on the way. Our cabin was pueo, and as you were explaining, Auntie, that each cabin has a name of a bird, and I thought, I wonder if there's a pueo cabin, right? So because I just love owls, because it's so esoteric, and I like this stuff. So then, yes, of course, we got the pueo cabin, and we also got the pueo plane. And here's what happened: we went on the plane. This is a short flight, okay? It's like not even like 45 minutes.
Okay, one
But
second. We are
yeah,
getting into the plane, and then we saw the aircraft leaving Hawaii, right? Leaving Hawaii, and and it was like, we're like, oh, look at that! Well, let's take a picture. Let's take a picture, and we got into the plane. Okay, go, Pam.
yeah. So we're excited. We're like, this is a sign. Yay, it's a sign because wisdom. Yeah, well, so amazing. Um, then we are about to land, and that was not so fun because all of a sudden the weather just turned. It was beautiful, right? It was sunny, and then we get close to Oahu, and the weather just went crazy. Like airplane is like moving a little weird. People are starting to get a little nervous. They try to do the landing and they couldn't. So the thing is, when it's about to touch down, I text my husband. So I'm like, hey, we're landing. And then I texted him and we didn't land. So the airplane went back up and we're like another good almost hour up in the air. And we were like, Suzanne and I are texting each other and we're like, okay, start chanting right now. It's a prayer time, like scary kind. It was not fun. Everybody was a little, and then my poor husband, he's so amazing. His father died in a plane crash. So the moment I texted him, we're landing, and then we didn't land, and that's when he leaves the house, and he's like, "What's going on?" And I said, "I think it's not our turn on the runway to land, right?" And so he's like, "It's taking too long." So then he started researching and asking people, and all of the flights had been canceled right after that flight because of weather conditions, because no other flight could land that day. So our plane finally they landed, and I'm like, so then I looked it up, and then in Hawaiian culture, Pueo was the name that we stayed. I'm just rereading what I wrote here. In Hawaiian, it represents guidance and protection. It represents a Hawaiian ancestral guardian. They also call Aumakua. The Pueo are believed to protect individuals from harm and even death, sent to watch over and protect. And it's also considered the bringer of good luck. So when I read that, I was like, okay, thank you, Pueo. Like, I don't think there are there's coincidences. There's just the signs that you decide to connect and you know be with it. So that was really, really powerful. So there's a lot of power everywhere in the world. And then the connection I made to Brazil was, the same happens. The native people, the native species, and we do the copaiba harvesting in Brazil, and I got to go there. Was such a gift as well. So this got me inspired to think, and I've already shared this with a few people that do organize this part of the co-impact sourcing. I said, hey, we can have this model work in other countries. And if it works in Hawaii, and let's be honest, Hawaii is probably one of the most difficult places to make this work. It is pricey, it's not cheap, and it is far. It's not a very close destination to a lot of people, right? Except Asia. But so if we can make it work in Hawaii, we can truly make it work anywhere. And that was my talk, with them. And they said, yeah, absolutely. So just so you know, Auntie, this is paving the way for a lot more to happen that will benefit incredible. Like the amount of goodness that I see coming out of it is, I have goosebumps like chicken skin right now. It is infinite, of connecting the culture, the traditions, and respecting, honoring ancestry and cultural practices. Like, this is amazing. This is amazing. And then maybe I can take this back home. Wow. That's why I was there, you know? So the message was loud and clear when we were there together. So
That
that was really, really special.
that makes me really happy to hear that. I'm so happy to know that, um, again, things on a surface level versus taking it deeper and making it more meaningful. And that, gosh, if this could be replicated elsewhere in the indigenous with the indigenous people or places, people of different places, that would be wonderful. Mahalo.
Yes. And I want to share a little bit of, let me just make sure that my sound here is connected properly because all of a sudden it kind of went a little crazy.
We hear you good, Pam.
You can hear me good? Okay. So let me just make sure because it kind of stopped for a second here. Once again. Okay. So I'm sharing here an image on Hikiola, Ka La Hikiola, the dawning of a new day. That is such a perfect title for the project, right? So this material right here explains a lot about how the whole project has been um, done, and it will continue to be done. And like Susanna mentioned, we it takes about anywhere from 20 to 30 years for any sandalwood tree to give its gifts, right, of the oil and the wood. So if you think about the founders of doTERRA, I admire them. They are incredible people. Auntie gets to work directly with them as well. We get the gift of having the woman founder as a big mentor for myself, for my team and my friends. And she's the CEO of the company. So a multi-billion-dollar company having a woman CEO too makes me very proud. Not taking any sides of like men and women, but it's it's a big deal, and I'm very proud. And so knowing that they have made this investment that is it's generational, because maybe some of them we might not be here to see it, if we live up to maybe to 150 years old. But more than likely this is for the next generation. So it is a legacy company. It is a legacy type of vision that we have. And that's I wanted to bring some attention to the fact that we talked about this a little bit, and I'm gonna bring this from a really genuine good intention place. And some people are very protective, saying, hey, oh, this Holly people come and buy land and do this, do that. And I would love to have you speak on it a little bit, Auntie, because we kind of talked a little bit about it. And um, just so we understand that the pure intentions and the pure hearts of the people that are doing this is 100% connected, and to really benefit the people of Hawaii.
Well, I can share my personal transformational story that I experienced personally as a Native Hawaiian. And my reaction was probably the same as many others in Hawaii and our community when we find out that a non-Hawaiian organization from the continent is buying land, and selling our resources for their benefit. So we think um, that's all we need to hear, and then we just, okay, no, that's not cool. And so for me, I did buy dōTERRA oils, except for Iliai. I refused to. And this was prior to everything. This was when I was still as an educator in the state of Hawaii Department of Education. And I just really wasn't happy about it. But I was uninformed, and I made a snap decision or judgment, which a lot of us do without information. Um, and the general manager, who I knew outside, we go to the same church. He had been, well, he had asked at the time to work with our students at the school I was at. And so, in an effort to start a partnership there, he took me and a few other of the teachers up first and started educating, um, started my educational transformation then. Um, and I just started learning all of the information, all of the things that Kealakekua Mountain Reserve was doing and will planned to do. And my heart just changed almost immediately. But as a long process, it just keeps getting validated over and over with everything that they were doing at the time and continue to do now. And so, you know, come this, COVID, and then everything in the world shifted. We all shifted, including my career. So when I decided to leave my job in the education field, Greg asked if I would run the nonprofit. And I feel it's a blessing to be able to share the information with people who may be where I was at, in their heart, which is opposed to it. And I invite everyone up to say, get your information and then make your decision with information, specifically to Native Hawaiians, but for anyone who's interested. Um, and and with that information and on knowing, first of all, how many plants are being put back in general. Second of all, how many iliahi, which is what we harvest, how many are being put back, and the ratio. It's just, there's no question in my mind that this is a long-term investment, that dōTERRA is making. And then to add in the layer of bringing the community, bringing Native Hawaiians, bringing in whoever's interested in learning and participating. It's not just taking oil, sharing it with the world, and putting back trees, but also including the community participation and outreach. That to me is a blessing, that I can then share that with everyone and feel real good in my gut, on what we're doing, but also share it with others on how this kind of community empowerment, that dōTERRA is participating in, is really changing a lot of lives. It doesn't look exactly like what dōTERRA does in other communities. And that's what's beautiful, is because every community's needs are different. And what is happening here is different from what's happening in other places in the world where their needs are very different. And so I appreciate that dōTERRA does assess the needs. It's not a one size fits all. They go into the community, empower the people there, and really provide service, to the people, and not just go in and take. So that's really very powerful.
That's beautiful. And that's so amazing. I didn't know that you wouldn't buy iliahi just because, right? Because you didn't know. So, and that's why we need to keep bringing this up to conversations for dialogue, and so people know. So we bring this awareness of, what we really do. So one of the things that was super amazing that you shared there too was how the sheep, I think, and some, you call ungulates. How do you call them?
Ungulates.
Ungulates, right?
Four-legged
Yes.
animals.
Okay, so those cute little animals that aren't so cute for the ecosystem. So you need to clean them out of your property, right? You need to clean them out of the the forest because they really damage the ecosystems, right? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, I think there's varying perspectives on this. As far as where I'm coming from the native Hawaiian ecosystem perspective, it might not, um, sound the same as someone from the hunting community's perspective. But for reforestation of the native Hawaiian forest, the animals that browse are non-native animals, and they eat the young growth, and so no, they don't go together. So whenever we do planting, we have to fence in the area and we push out the ungulates, so that it's animal free, and they can just grow without that pressure of being eaten. It's a very expensive buffet for them, if so. And the fencing does make this very costly. It is a huge investment to do so much fencing and removal of the animals. So we're not just planting, but we're doing all of those things.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to do it with helicopters. That's what we heard.
Yes.
They move the
Yes.
animals out with helicopters. That must be a fun job. I wonder, legit, who does that?
The
That's so cool.
really good hunters and helicopter people. Not
Yeah, I
me.
know. That's so cool. Yeah, but that's a sign of reforestation that is being done intentionally, right? To reforest an area is if you have a lot of these animals on the property, um, it kind of defeats the purpose of reforesting a place because you're not going to be able to do that, right? It would be kind of crazy if we open the place for hunting, right? That would be a little weird because they eat especially the iliahi, right? They love because it tastes like nuts or something like that they were explaining to us.
The nut is like really fatty, like a macadamia nut. So
Mm.
I don't know I guess the animals do, but the one that we have a problem with is rats. They really like the seed. Those are who we battle for the iliahi seed, are the rats. But the ungulates, my understanding is they'll eat just anything, any new growth.
That is
So,
crazy. So when we saw the babies in the nursery, we have it. You have it all fenced in because of that, right? And that nursery, it's a big one. It's a huge one. You're talking how many seedlings? Like 300,000? Is that what I heard, or even
um,
more?
I think it's more around the 100, between 1 and 150,000 is our capacity, and we need to kind of expand the nursery. But yes, it is fenced in, and then in the fenced in area we have like bars around our nursery so cows can't get in, and we have all sorts of like insurance for our babies.
That is amazing. And I'm mentioning this because all of that was new to me, right? The first time we went there, we got a little bit of a tour. Then we all went together. Christina was there, Teddy was there, Susanna. We all went with our teams and we got to see every step of how everything is done. And this time, because we had 3 days, I could really grasp the details and what it really takes for things to run smoothly. And also, the math of it, right? So if you have a huge nursery, it means that yes, you're doing some incredible um, reforestation effort in that area. So you have to have a nursery that is the size that makes that makes sense for the reforestation to happen. So then that to me was like, because there are companies out there that say that they do this and that, and they do farm to table, all that stuff, and when you really look at it in reality, it's really not like that. So we all, any person can go up to KMR and look at it, and visitations are open, right, every day. Is that how it works?
I take day tours up Monday through Saturday, and it's been getting more and more busy. So I almost am fully booked through March now for the day tours, and so The day tours, like you're saying, it's like, kind of far up. It's 4-wheel drive, and you have a little bit of a time commitment on driving, from wherever you're going to the bottom, and then the tour of whatever we can get on the property. So I say allow for 6 to 7 hours for the day tour, but that extended stay, we were able to go into more depth, and you can see the whole property, and you can really just experience the vastness of what is going on, and that is super exciting for us to be able to share those kinds of details and the vastness of the property, because a lot of people, we're just trying to finish the tour and get you back down so that you can do what you need to do for the rest of the day. But we took this tour, the extended stay up, the participants up to the top of the property, which is at 6,000 elevation, and it takes a long time to get up there, but it's just so beautiful when you get up there and see all that the property has, and all the sandalwood, the iliahi that is growing healthy and remaining from a long time ago, still intact and beautiful. So yeah, that is. I'm glad that you shared that, because the day tour and the extended stays are very different.
Very. So you can really grasp the connection we have to the land, really, and then everything makes sense. We went up all the way, and I really hope when you do your retreats, people that are going to do this, that it rains a little bit, because it's so much more fun when it's raining and you go down that mountain. It was such an experience. Susanna and I were like holding on for dear life, but in a very positive way, and like, whoa, this is like Six Flags, but in Hawaii. It was so awesome. It was so fun. So the tours are free, right? They're free of charge.
Day tours, yes, they're free of charge to the community, Monday through Saturday. Just email me and I'll figure out a day that works for both of us.
That is so awesome. So it's free of charge, so you can really see firsthand what goes on in Kealakekua Mountain. So there's a map here for you to see in relation to the airport where it's at. We've gotten questions about, can we take school tours over there? And it is a big time commitment if you're coming from another island or from the mainland. But there are schools on the Big Island that do that. They come and they bring the keiki, and they're able to connect and understand how all of this is done. So another thing that I want to bring to this conversation is growing sandalwood. It needs a friend to grow better, right? It's kind of like us. So how does that work, Auntie?
Yeah, they are. The plants are so much like us, or more. We are more like plants than they are like us. Iliahi is hemiparasitic, so it needs a host plant for its growth, for its survival, for the nutrients. It needs it takes nitrogen from another host plant, and so we found that the best host for it is koa, through research that has been done. And this is on my website, hikiola.org. We worked with Dr. Emily Uluvehi Thairoff, Senegal Thairoff, and she's researched iliahi and found koa to be the best host because it is nitrogen fixing. And so, we see differences in iliahi that, for instance, is planted as a small seedling next to another small seedling koa, and compare the growth rate of that iliahi to an iliahi seedling that's planted next to a fully grown, fully established koa tree. The growth rates are huge because that host tree is grown and it can provide the nitrogen to their roots connect, and they make little haustoria, little nodules where they share that, or where the koa shares the nutrients or the nitrogen to the iliahi. It's fascinating. I'm not a biologist or a botanist or anything
Christina
like
is.
that.
She's
It's
a biologist.
Oh, well, there you go. I mean, you should. you should be talking about this part then, because I'm still learning. I'm a wannabe everything, but it's just fascinating how we've learned about the Iliahi, and we do liken it to us meeting other people to really thrive. And forests are a great example of that, and how the trees talk to each other and connect with each other and help each other out. It's just really wonderful to liken that kind of interaction with the humans and what we need.
That is so beautiful. I'm gonna share a quick little video that we created in Kealakekua, and just so you have an idea what the retreat was about. Can you see this? That makes me want to go back. So
Cool.
it was amazing, and the cabins. Let me tell you, they are really nice. I'm just gonna give one look to the cabins, okay? So you know what glamping is all about. I had never glamped before, and it is glamping, like for real. It's glamping. Let me share this one last one.
Me sometimes when I sleep 2 o'clock in the morning, I get up. Feel like my ancestors tell me, hey, Keely, I get one song for you. So I get one song coming, but never. This song is so beautiful. It's not a song about the kupuna. It's about your tutu, your family, how they live, the medicine, what they eat. It is part of us. And I believe Slaki Kihoalo is one of the beautiful music in the world. Beautiful. They just make your family get together. And if I play more and these go all over the world, this gonna tell you the story about Keli'i Hawaii. Keli'i means the highest chief, man. Ali. We don't call it chief, we call him Ali. A warrior. So that's my life.
So if you're wondering what Ke'ali'i means, that is Auntie's name, right? Is that the meaning?
No, that's not the meaning of my name, but usually names are Keli'i is short for Keali'i, which is what he's saying, yes. But
Ke'ali'i.
I'm not the chief.
What is the meaning of yours? You are the chief. What is the name of yours? What is the meaning of yours?
It's there's a little bit of poetic license that happened in the 70s when I was named, and it means the little rainbow.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh yeah, the li'i. Li'i is small or little, right?
Yeah.
Yes. That's beautiful. We have friends in Hilo. Their last name is Kaholeauli'i, small bamboo leaf. Yeah, that's their last name. So beautiful. By the way, I love you girls. I miss you so much, my Big Island girls. So we also have an opportunity to visit, right? So we did the retreat, we did the pilot, and it's incredible. It's ready to go. It's beautiful. What an amazing experience. Is it available right now? How is it? How does it work right now?
Yes. So we are taking bookings. Kapilina is the name of the tent cabin site, and I do the booking. So you reach out to me at keliikanoi@hikiola.org is my email address, or you can go to my website and reach me through that. And bookings are for 3 or 5 night stays. And so 3-night stays, we always check in on Wednesdays. And 5-night stays are always checked in on Monday. And everyone checks out by Saturday. And so we are booking. And the price is for the 3-night stay, it's $1,900. And the 5-night stay is $2,900. And we want to honor those who are from this aina by offering them a 50% discount. It's a kama'aina rate for those who are from or live here in Hawaii Island. I'm sorry, in all islands of Hawaii. So the teams that are based here get that discount just to honor, the people from this place. But we will be having a leadership special for those who are attending leadership. Come talk to us. We'll be in the expo in that area. And we really want to meet you guys and talk story with you guys. But we're offering, if you book during leadership, we'll give you a 30% off of your booking whenever it is through the year of 2024. So if you book your date in 2024, you'll get 30% off. But that's how you do it. And we will work with you on the dates for availability. But we really want to meet you all and hope you all come up to Kapilina because it's the best.
Oh, it's gonna book out. It's going to sell out. I know it. I know it for a fact. Because think about this, I think the best way to do a retreat, and we've all done retreats. We do a lot of retreats. We're yoga teachers here, and we love all of that type of activity. And retreats, if you come to Hawaii, and everything is included. You just have to get yourself to the place for you to be brought up to the mountain. So I think if you think about it, that is the way of doing Hawaii. So if you really want to know Hawaii the real way, this is the way. This is the way to know the real Hawaii. It is, you're gonna leave there knowing what Hawaii is about. It is awesome. Amazing. Well, and Teddy and Christina, do you want to share a little bit about your experience at KMR the last time we were all there?
I definitely. Do you want to go first, Teddy, or what?
Yeah, sure, I'll go. So I was completely amazed by the initial grounds when we pulled up and we parked and we did the prayer, I'm not sure what the official word was, right? The chant.
The protocol. Yeah,
the protocol. That I felt something energetic kind of flow through me. It was just so amazing being there. And my husband and I have been together for, 28 years, and he lived on the Big Island before we met. So we were constantly going there, a lot in our early days of marriage, and our kids were younger, and they have a lot of memories going over to Kona and, hanging out mainly on that side. But it's like, now I have this new nugget that I want to bring my kids there and my husband, they need to learn about that, the KMR. It's very, very touching. And again, like Pam, since we went several years back, there's cabins now, glamping. I mean, that's an exciting thing to do, and again, I did yoga retreats mainly on the mainland. And actually I did a couple retreats at the Kalani, which is on the volcano side, a couple of yoga retreats there. I did some fitness retreats there with Galad, right? So yeah, the pricing, I was thinking about that, and it's, for what you're getting, the pricing is about right. So
it is incredible. I feel like it should be more, but hey, I'm not going to do that right now because we all want to be able to do it. So
yeah.
No, and get this, not big detail. all of the materials inside the cabins, they are organic. The I asked them for the
Sustainable.
links of the things because
Sustainable.
I want my bedroom to be like that, like bamboo sheets. There is something called the furry friend, which is like this nice warm little furry friend that you get at the end of your day to sleep with it. It's like, guys,
Is it
for real.
alive?
Like, no, it's a dead one, but
Okay.
no, I'm joking. It's not even an animal. It's a water.
Oh,
Hot water
What is
bottle.
it called? Yeah, it's a hot water.
to keep you warm.
Yeah, it's a water bag. But then it has a furry thing on the outside,
Oh,
and you just want to hug it all day long. Yeah,
okay.
it's every detail. Yeah,
Every detail, every little detail, and
yeah.
hot shower. We got hot shower on the top of the mountains.
Nice.
And then clean shampoo and conditioner, like
Yeah.
clean, no chemicals, like because
Yeah.
it's very, very, very aware of
Eco.
the
Yeah.
waste too, right? So your waste goes to a waste station after that, and it's just incredible. Christina, what did you feel when you went to KMR?
Well, I have to say, you call me a biologist, and that's totally fine with me. But to make it completely official, my degree is called Earth System Science and Policy. So what I studied is how to integrate policy and the science of environmental science, and how the world works, and why it's so important to do things like Anthi is doing. And so when I first heard about this project, it hit me like so hard. And I first met Auntie a couple years ago at Leadership in person. And she probably remembers I started crying when I met her. And I was just thanking her so much for everything she's doing, because I know how important it is. And so once, and it's hard for when my background story is that I did have this great career in Hawaii as a marine biologist and teaching people about the ocean and the islands and how they're so important. But then I became a mom, and I took a mom role. So I haven't been working in that context in a really long time. And it's a piece missing from my soul. I'll tell you that much, guys. So I became a doTERRA wellness advocate because I saw the importance of the oils and how they healed my family and myself. But again, there's that little hole missing where it's like, gosh, I used to do this and I loved it so much. But like, how do I keep doing it when I'm a mom and I have kids and I have to stay at home? All this stuff going through my brain. And am I doing the right thing and being part of doTERRA? And then Kikiola came about, and the Kealakekua Mountain Reserve came about, and I knew I was in the right place with doTERRA, because what people don't understand, and that I'm really loving sharing, is how doTERRA goes into these communities in different parts of the world, and they just, like you said, they don't take, they give. As well as receiving the beautiful gifts of the earth, they give back to the community and to the earth in so many critically important ways. Um, it's just it's just amazing, and it's groundbreaking. I think that more companies should be thinking this forward, about the future, about their impact on every little thing that they do. And so yeah, it made me feel really secure that I have made a really great choice in pursuing my career with doTERRA. Then I went to Kealakekua. And like Teddy said, during the protocol, the mana, the power that comes through is just out of control. Like it's not anything that you can actually explain. You really need to go and experience it for yourself. And I had heard so many times, like, oh, the power of the Big Island. Oh my gosh, I love Big Island. And I went there when I was pregnant with my first daughter. And to be honest, I didn't really feel the mana like people had been explaining. However, when I went to KMR, when I went to Kealakekua, it was undeniable, the power that's in the land, on Big Island, especially. And what I think is most important about this project that's happening with Kealakekua is the fact that it is an all-encompassing reforestation effort. So we keep on talking about Iliahi and Koa. However, what we're not saying is that the nursery is so big because the folks go in to the forest and any native seed they find, they're collecting and they're bringing it back to the nursery, and they're making sure that they are creating these little seeds into a big beautiful plant. That's so important for the forest, because I'm telling you, when these endemic species go away, it's gone forever. Hawaii is not the only place in the world where we have endemic species. Literally everywhere in the world, there's very important species that don't exist anywhere else. And they've been almost forgotten about. You know, there's such a small amount of people who care about these little plants and little animals, and we often are looked down upon and judged, like, why do you care so much about this little salamander or this little bird? But you know what? They're not so little. They're really important for our earth and for us, and we're all connected. And I just really love the whole message that Kealakekua is delivering. And I do hope that we can continue around the world in these very important areas in the Amazon and in China and all around the world where these plants and animals are so critically important. I would love to see dōTERRA spearhead that movement. Oh gosh, I'm here for it. I love our company. I love KMR. I love Big Island. It's just, I'm so happy with the environmental aspect of our company, and that we came together today to talk about it. So yeah, I'm so happy that we're talking about this today, and that we are so lucky to have Auntie Kaylee joining us. So I'll get off my soap stool or whatever it's called now.
No, that was beautiful. I love you,
Yeah,
Christina. This
so
is your
important.
light. This is your light. Yeah,
It is.
that's your passion. And doTERRA is spearheading this movement. We've heard this over and over. I have a couple friends of mine that work with regenerative agriculture, and they audit companies to make sure that they're doing the right things. And they've looked at doTERRA and they said, yeah, they're just doing way beyond what is asked of companies to do. So, and another thing too that Auntie shared with us is it's not a farm; it's a reforestation project. So get that. It's not when people say Sandalwood Farm, nope, it's a forest. So, and that is a big difference.
Yeah,
Auntie, do
it's
you wanna leave?
like none other around the world. It's like the one and only reforestation effort I've ever heard of as an environmental
Yeah,
scientist. It's so cool.
so amazing. Yeah, and we're part of that. Auntie, do you wanna leave a message for people that are like, wow, I want to go there, and also anything that is coming from your heart to share for us to close?
Well, first is a big mahalo to you folks. These wahine here, I really appreciate your energy and your mana'o, your thoughts that you shared. Um, I I really just, it's just this synergy that happens when I connect with people around this subject. It just lights my fire, and then other people fire their fire can burn stronger too. And so mahalo nui to you folks for all that you do and your hard work and effort to make the world a better place. Um, if you are interested in coming to Kealakekua Mountain Reserve, contact me through Hikiola's website or my email that was posted on the screen, and I can arrange for that free 1-day tour or extended tour, the retreat stay, the glamping. Um, I really look forward to being able to share that transcendental experience. Everyone's is different. And I go up there 3 to 5 days a week, and I still have it every time I go up. And I feel so blessed to be able to go there. It doesn't get old. Um, and I just love sharing it with whoever wants to learn and be there. So mahalo nui ya oko. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your hearts. Thank you for being here with your precious time. And if you're watching this, thank you for joining us as well. Aloha, lots of love everywhere, wherever you are. Thank you, Auntie. Love you, girls.
Love you guys. Ahui ho.
Ahui ho.